Greetings, Patriots. This is Dan Albert, back to talk about the Albert Plan to restore election integrity. And in the scenario where I presented what would happen on Election Day, on federal election day, if the Albert Plan was implemented to restore election integrity. Federal election day is decoupled from state and local elections. Federal election day would happen on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November in even-numbered years, and states would be wise to move to the same date, first Tuesday after the first Monday on odd-numbered years for state and local elections. There are a number of issues that when I presented this scenario of what it would be like on election day, I know there are a number of issues that warrant further discussion and concerns that Americans would have. And I want to discuss a couple of those today. One is the use of fingerprints, thumbprints, to register to vote, as well as to put that thumbprint on the back of each ballot. The 3 ballots cast in a federal election, up to 3 ballots, would be on red, white, and blue ballots. White for a congressional race, red for a Senate race, and blue for presidential race. When there's obviously the concern about those fingerprints, those thumbprints being on the back side of a ballot where the ballot is marked and the vote could be known. So federal law could mandate strict punishment, extreme punishment for anybody that matches up the information on both sides of the ballot. The reason why we want to have a thumbprint on the ballot is to maintain election integrity, to maximize election integrity. In our current system, if there are ballots presented, let's say that there are provisional ballots that have been held back from going into the pool of ballots cast, you know, I've known of times where it's like, oops, those ballots inadvertently got mixed in with the good ballots. So once a ballot in the current system goes in with other ballots, it's indistinguishable from any other ballot that's there and it has equal weight. An illegal ballot could enter the system and could cancel out a legally cast ballot. So with the thumbprint on the ballot, if there's a challenge to the legitimacy of a particular precinct, then the count could happen again by simply sort of shuffling the deck, so to speak, putting all the ballots together, or just reconfirming the count. But if there's also a challenge in terms of who was eligible, to make sure that there were no illegal votes cast, if somebody wants to challenge that the thumbprint scanned, they want to confirm that it matches the list of people that were actually recorded as having voted. Eligible voters would be a public record. Those voters would have to be registered within 30 days of federal election day. And then when the election happens, then those voters that actually voted would be recorded as having voted, and that list would also be maintained. So if somebody wanted to challenge that, then the fact that the thumbprints are on the back of each ballot gives us ultimate security in the integrity of our election, because those ballots could be mixed up so that it's not like a stack of 100 for this candidate and you scan those to verify the thumbprints. Then you would be matching up who those people voted for. So you would randomize the ballots if that test is being made as far as matching up the thumbprint against people that voted. You would randomize those votes, and you would run those votes through a scanner that can only scan the back side, only one side of the piece of paper, and that it could not visualize the other side. If the scan is so strong that it could pick up the markings on the other side, that's not good. So the scan has to be, we have to have integrity in terms of keeping the thumbprint and the knowledge of who that person is from the decision on the other side. Now, we can do that pretty reliably, but there's always a possibility that it could, some nefarious actors could actually figure that out if they had all the information on the thumbprints. But it's less risky than our current system where people vote. When you put an absentee ballot in the mail like they do now, then there are a lot of, I'll talk about that on another video, but there are ways that the identity of that voter could be matched up to how they voted, obviously. So, and with electronic voting, when you go through and you're voter number 123 and you get your ballot, your electronic, they check you in and you go to the machine, and who knows what could happen when you're dealing with electronic voting. There's all kinds of potential for all kinds of shenanigans, including changing votes. So the security of the vote can be assured. As far as the privacy issue of giving up our thumbprint, there's so much information on all of us that's out there, and I'll get into citizenship and the census and how we can handle that more efficiently using technology, and how our thumbprint as an identifier, our biometric information like our photographic image. I've heard ear scans are more unique than fingerprints. A palm scan has been used for various reasons to provide some security and check-in process and all that thing. So we're already deep into giving up our privacy. There are proposals I'll make about pulling back our private information from tech companies and that kind of thing. And net, I propose dramatically restoring our privacy of our information. But in the matter of voting, we have to establish our citizenship. We have to have our vital records that are known and verifiable. We have to, people get fingerprinted at birth or as children, footprints. There are easy ways to try to segregate basic vital statistics information of who you are, where you were born, etc. Your thumbprint, your photo could and should exist in a very pared down, simple database that is maintained strictly for citizenship confirmation, verifying who you are and that you're entitled to be in this country and what your status is with your photo and your thumbprint. And if you don't have a thumb, your other thumb, your palm, there are various ways we can compensate for the fact that some people just won't have a right thumb. So we blow away all the excuses that the left has to create chaos and undermine our election integrity, and that's why I think that introducing thumbprints or some other biometric identifier in the process, in addition to a photographic ID, that will do wonders to restore our election integrity. Of course, the left is going to fight it tooth and nail. They're going to be against everything I propose. So we the people that are forming up freedom cells in order to move as one and speak as one and to clamor for these changes. The silent majority needs to become the clamoring majority. All of that. The left is their heads are going to explode. But that's the hard left. There are a lot of people that self-identify as Democrats that are going to like what they hear. So let's get on the same page on this. And again, if you like what I'm presenting, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so that you get notification of future videos that I publish. And meanwhile, I appreciate your time and thank you for all that you do for the Liberty Movement. And may God bless our great country and restore our lost liberties. Thank you.